Can you imagine a world in which we, the people of Britain, are sovereign, a sort of sovereign Britain, full of fascinating, interesting, individual people who unite together for the benefit of all? And can you imagine in this sovereign Britain that the people who have got wisdom can guide us and help us see a healthy future? And in this sovereign Britain, I wonder who these people of wisdom might be. Would they not be those who are our elders? When I say elders, I don't mean the elderly. That's a horrible term. It makes people sound like they've come to the end of their use. They're senile, they're demented, they're of no use, they're a burden on society. No, by the elders, I mean those people who are maybe in their 60s, 70s and 80s, possibly older, who are still sprightly, still full of knowledge, who are respected, who have the wisdom of age, they have maturity. Imagine in this new world that we're building, and we are building it, by the way, for those people who think that coming up when there's an election and governments and things like that, that the people of this sovereign Britain are going to acquiesce to more of this dictatorship, this tyranny, then think again. Because as people beginning to sort of realise that we're living under a communist dictatorship, and have decided, do you know what, no, that's not for us. The old system of the Houses of Parliament, the House of Commons, the office, that corporation, the office of the Prime Minister, which is a for-profit corporation there to extract as much money out of you as possible. Well, people will realise that that system is corrupt and fraudulent, and is not for the sovereign people of Britain, that people will actually find another way of governance, that relic of Parliament is over. It's had its day, a great experiment, we tried it, and look what happened. They became dictatorial, they became puppets, they became controlled by other people, a one world government trying to force them, like the rest of the globe, like the rest of the world, into following the ideas that they had, the 15-minute cities, which is a global thing, by the way, not just in the UK, and the whole digital IDs, another global thing, and the net zero nonsense, another global idea pushed by a one world government, a cabal of people who wish to control us and enslave us. Well, you can imagine that the sovereign people of Britain will no longer want this. They don't want to be under the thumb. They wish to be free. And one way to be free is to listen to the people of wisdom, our elders, those people who've been around a bit. You see, with age comes wisdom. We get confused in this world. We've been told that we have to pander to the youth, those people who have not been round a bit. There is a young woman who was, I suppose, branded as a messenger for the new world. And she kept saying, how dare you take away our lives? And I believe she was only sort of 14, 15, 16, 17, I don't know, however old she was. And she was held up as this person of great wisdom and knowledge. And yet she'd barely been on this earth, and you blink and you would have missed her. And yet everybody listened to her one world government system of following this man-made global warming myth, this nonsense. Go to the other end of the spectrum. My father, for example, was born in the 1930s. And when he was born, it was sort of the beginning of the age of commercial travel. He lived through the Second World War. He saw how the Nazis bombed the town that he was living in, London. He saw the advent of technology. and how it changed things. He saw how farms, for example, grew larger and the old traditional way of things. He saw electricity coming into villages. He saw gas being replaced. He saw how technology was helping people. He saw, for example, the internet come in. He ran his business. Mobile phones was a thing that he didn't really get into himself, and the internet, another thing, and smartphones and all of this. He stopped at that point, and now he is no longer with us. But in his lifetime, he could see how very much those things that mattered had been changed. The baby, in fact, was thrown out with the bathwater. Which is silly, because some of those things in the past were very, very good for us. But we've listened to these young whippersnappers, these career politicians who think that they know everything. And we've been mesmerized by the youth, by the fact that they're attractive and handsome and have lots of energy and they're pretty and they speak in sound bites. And we forget that actually there is nothing behind all of this. There's no wisdom. There's no sitting on the shoulders of others. There's them and their careers and their greed. And this is where the government has ended up. And we can see that they don't listen to anybody anymore. They listen only to themselves and the people above them who are putting pressure on them so that they can put this one world government, this global governance into place. Well, I think the majority of those people who have been awake, who are also of a certain age, it seems, are wary of all of this and have been for some time, and are now pushing back and saying, do you know what? This is not for us. This is not how you bring people together, how the men and women of this country actually want to live, with surveillance left, right and centre, and highly processed foods, and being corralled into these 15-minute cities in which you're actually being restricted on your movement, in which everything is turning into one source of energy, an electric energy which can be controlled, the price controlled, or can be turned off. We need to listen to our elders. And as we build this new world, I think we will listen to those who've been around a lot, who have seen things, who've had time to cogitate and meditate and ruminate on the things that actually are worth having, and not these fly-by-nights who try to mesmerize us with the shiny, sparkly, have this and update to that, and oh no, you're unhappy, have this. You see, when you've lived a bit, you realize that actually the important things in life are very simple, and most of them free. Clean water, clean air, beautiful sunlight, things that mean something. And as we build this new world, and as I say, we are, and we turn our backs on the old world of the governance of these upstarts who think they talk for us, as we build this new world, we will be finding those people irrelevant and turning to our elders, those people of wisdom, for guidance. For that, my friends, is where the future really lies. Those people who have been around and have seen things and can guide us all. And we would be stupid not to listen to them.